Oh, I got ink on my finger. Hey, hi there. This video is brought to you by Printavo. Printavo is a management cloud-based software. Printavo will help you manage orders, handle scheduling, automation, and online stores. Regardless if you are running a small or big print shop, Printavo will help you streamline your business. One thing about Printavo that I'm just right now loving is handling quotes. Oh, makes it so fast. All you have to do is type in the description, the quantity of t-shirts, and then just click on the button. Voila, there goes your code. Send it straight to their email, and that's one of my favorite features from Printavo. So if you're interested, all you gotta do is go to printavo.com and use the promo code Taino, and you're gonna get $50 off the first month. Woo, that's a great deal. Give it a try. And I wanna thank Printavo for sponsoring today's video. Now, we're gonna talk about ink, but first, I'm hungry. Finally, a burger montage. About time. Better than hot dogs. Come on. Good day to you and how you be, everybody. Today we're gonna dive into common myths about Plastisol ink. I see that a lot in social media where people are asking questions when it comes to ink and the answer is completely wrong. So I bumped into this page from Screen Print Direct where it talks to you about the 10 myths of Plastisol ink, and I want to run by all 10 of them so at least we get an understanding and know how to deal when it comes to Plastisol ink. So myth number 1, my Plastisol ink is ready to use right out of the container. No, I don't think so. It says here, inks are never truly ready to use. Plastisol inks should be stirred for several reasons. First, Plastisol ink thickens as it sits on a shelf. As ink thickens, it produces a false body. False body can be detected when you open a container and try to scoop ink, but it's so thick it forms a mushy block. That has happened to me before. Luckily, there is a simple fix: stirring. This will help the ink come back to a fluid, thinner body. It can sometimes take 5 minutes to get a white ink to its true print body. Some people even use a drill to stir up the ink faster. Secondly, when an ink sits on the shelf too long, the oil starts to separate from the pigment. Again, stir. It is important that you mix that together to get your ink back to a nice, creamy texture. Myth number 2, I can use one white ink for cotton, 50-50, and try blends. Now, there is a bit of debate here. It says some screen printers will use one ink for everything and claim it works, and other printers will use several different inks for different applications. Sure, there are low bleed inks that are used on everything from your 100% cotton to pure poly inks, but some poly inks have dye blockers to help keep your garments from having a dye migration issues. These blockers can sometimes have a bad effect with the dyes on 100% cotton. Shirts resulting in ghost images. Underbase white is also not the same as a standard printing white. Underbase white was not formulated to be a top vibrant color. Underbase was made to be an underbase as it lays nicely under other colors. Similarly, standard white Plastisol will not perform like an underbase. You may have a rougher hand if you print another color on top of a standard white. Hence, we suggest an underbase, which I've been using an underbase for the last maybe 3 months, and you can see the difference. You can feel the difference is much, much better. So my advice is get an underbase, and then use your white on top of it. Myth number 3. Using an ink reducer will reduce the ink opacity. Well, it says here, this is not true. In fact, you can reduce a high opacity ink without reducing the opacity of the print. Sounds complicated, I know, but stay tuned below and you'll be an opacity pro. Okay, let's say you want to print on a black shirt. When printing on black, you will want more opacity and coverage from your ink, as well as a high detail. To achieve this, you want to use a higher finer mesh count for your print run. We don't suggest anything higher than 160 mesh count. Wow. Okay, now you're ready to print and grab your white ink, but it's so thick it's been sitting on the shelf for a while. And no matter how much you stir, the darn ink won't print through that fine mesh count. Curable reducer. You add 5% of reducer by weight, and now you have an ink you can work with. One curable reducer reduced my opacity and give me less coverage on the black shirt. No, not exactly. Now that you have reduced the ink, you didn't affect the opacity, you affected the thickness. Now you can lay down more ink in your screen because it's a wee bit thinner and friendlier to work with. Now you can lay down more ink on your screen because it's a wee bit thinner and friendlier to work with. That's a good one. I like that. I don't use a lot of, curable reducers. Never use that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Myth number 4. I have been printing for years. I know how to print. I don't need any instructions on Plastisol Ink. Maybe a lot of people watching this video are just saying exactly that. It says, pause. You should always read the instructions of the tech data sheet because products vary from different manufacturers. Some inks are specialty inks and require different handling, like puff, glitter, low temperature cure, Plastisol inks are all products we highly recommend doing your research on before printing. Myth number 5. You should always print a base on dark shirts with highly opaque ink on top so the design comes out nice and bright. Okay, let's see. You do not need to use highly opaque ink over a base. First, highly opaque inks are meant to be printed alone without the use of a base. Second, highly opaque inks cost a lot more. So if you print expensive ink on top of another ink, you are going to be paying a lot of money ink in per shirt. Myth number 6. I already used a poly ink. That's it. There's nothing else I can do to help avoid dye migration. That's a big myth alert. There is a few more tricks you can pull out of your sleeves. You can adjust your flash height and temp to make sure that you are not over flashing. Remember, your plantains are heating up as well, getting hotter and hotter. So your poly fabric is getting heat from the flash unit as well as being on the hot plant. Make sure that your film of the ink reaches to 320, 330 and does not exceed that. If you are using a low temp ink, you can go well over the 270 cure temperature. I don't need to do any cure tests. 1 minute under my flash dryer is enough. Curing shirts, very important. Remember, let it go through that conveyor dryer, let it sit, try to stretch. And if you have a washer machine in your place, wash it. Make sure that it's really is holding on well, especially if you are printing on a shirt that you have not printed before. But once you already know your shirts, your Gildan 5000, your Bella canvas, and you already have that process, you know that it's curing. But if you're dealing with a different type of shirt, you gotta find out how that ink is gonna hold on that shirt. Myth number 8. Low temperature Plastisol inks can be mixed with normal Plastisol inks. Wrong. You can mix a lower temperature cure Plastisol with a standard color Plastisol. You just need to make sure that your cure time is going to be that of the standard ink. Yeah, you could mix both. I have mixed both, and I just got lucky that I was letting it cure to 320, so I came out good. But I have mixed. I didn't know it was a difference, but probably there are people that just because they're mixing some regular Plastisol on a lot of the low cure is all low cure. No, the moment you take a little bit of that Plastisol, regular Plastisol ink, and put in the low cure Plastisol ink, you're gonna have to move up to a 320. Myth number 9. I have a low bleed ink. I can now safely print on polys. Let's see what it says. Hold your horses. Low bleed is not the same as no bleed, so make sure that if you are going to print on straight poly, that you have a no bleed polyester ink. If you use a low bleed, there is still a chance that you will encounter dye migration. I like that one. That one is awesome. Now let's get to the final one. Myth number 10. Low temperature cure Plastisol is going to cure way faster. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Now it does cure at a lower temperature, but that is not the same as speed. You still need to cure ink for at least 60 seconds at its curing temperature. Wow, 60 seconds. I've been using it for, let it be there for maybe 45 to 50 seconds, and so far so good, but it says 60 seconds. That's something to know. I might just push it up a little, leave it under that conveyor dryer for about 60 seconds to cure, and give it a little thumbs up. I got a lot of great information here. Those are some things I didn't know that I like, and I hope you guys got that. You could go to Screen Print Direct, 10 minutes of Plastisol ink. Check it out on the website, read them, print them out, and always have that information because this is real good information. So I like that, I like that. So before I finish this video, all I want to say is that this Sunday I have a Zoom meeting to make a video with the shirt show. Oh man, they invited me. I can't wait to. I'm a big fan of the shirt show. If you have not watched the shirt show, go to their video, subscribe, and believe me, you're gonna learn so much. There's so much information in their videos. It's amazing because you have all these business printers that go there, and they're gonna talk about their mistakes, what worked for them, how they running the company, how they hiring, how to print. There's so much information. You know, one of my best channels right now is the shirt show. So go check it out. Just go over there, check it out. But I'll be there Sunday. I don't know if it's live or they're gonna post it, but I'll be doing that Sunday. But for now, if you like this video, press that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Be thankful always, be grateful always, and just let God take you on the ride. Peace out.